Every culture has a song that defines its resilience. For Jamaica, and for millions of people living in the ghettos of the world, that song is No Woman, No Cry. It is arguably the most famous reggae song ever recorded. Its melody is so hauntingly beautiful that it has been covered by everyone from Boney M to the Fugees. But behind the soothing rhythm lies a story of survival, poverty, and political war. Most people listen to it and think it's a romantic plea. They hear the title and think Bob is saying, if there is no woman, there is no reason to cry. They couldn't be more wrong. This song isn't about the absence of women. It is a command to a woman to keep her head up despite the misery of the surroundings. It is a letter from the concrete jungle of Trenchtown. Today, we are unpacking the true meaning, the hidden characters, and the controversial royalty battle behind Bob Marley's most iconic masterpiece. To understand the song, we first have to fix the translation. In Jamaican patois, the phrase is actually no woman, NUH cry. The NUH functions as don't. Bob is literally saying, no, woman, don't cry. He is comforting a woman, specifically his wife, Rita, and the women of his community, telling them that despite the government, logwood fires, and the lack of food, things will get better. Everything's gonna be alright. To understand why she was crying, we have to go back to Trenchtown in the late 60s and early 70s. Trenchtown was a government housing project that had turned into a political battlefield. It was a place of government yards where multiple families shared a single kitchen and a single outdoor tap. This is the government yard in Trenchtown Bob mentions in the first verse. The song is filled with real people. One of the most famous lines is, said I remember Georgie would make the fire light as it was logwood burning through the night. Georgie wasn't a fictional character. Georgie Robinson was a close friend of Bob's who lived in the yard while Bob was learning to play the guitar. Georgie was the one who kept the community fires going so they could cook and stay warm. He was a fisherman and a philosopher of the streets. When Bob sings about the cornmeal porridge they shared, he isn't being poetic. He is describing the only food they could afford. Cornmeal porridge was the poverty breakfast of Jamaica. The song is a celebration of making something out of nothing. It's about the good friends we've lost to the violence of the streets and the good friends we've gained through shared suffering. Now, we come to one of the biggest mysteries in reggae history. If you look at the official credits for No Woman, No Cry, Bob Marley's name isn't listed as the songwriter. Instead, the credit goes to Vincent Ford, also known as Tata. Tata was a friend of Bob's who ran a soup kitchen in Trenchtown. He had lost his legs to diabetes and spent his days in a wheelchair, helping the community. Why would Bob Marley give his greatest song to a man who didn't write music? This was a tactical move of guerrilla warfare against the music industry. At the time, Bob was in a brutal legal battle with his former publishing company, Cayman Music. They claimed they owned everything Bob wrote. To ensure the money from his hits went to his friends and his community instead of a corporate office in New York, Bob credited his songs to his friends. By giving the credit to Vincent Ford, Bob ensured that Tata would have enough money to keep his soup kitchen running for the rest of his life. It was Bob's way of paying rent to the community that raised him. Vincent Ford lived off the royalties of that song until he passed away in 2008. While the studio version on the Natty Dread album was a bit faster and featured a drum machine, it wasn't the version that conquered the world. The version we all know and love was recorded live in London at the Lyceum Theatre in July 1975. Something magical happened that night. The tempo was slowed down. The organ by Tyrone Downey became more gospel-like. When Bob started singing, the crowd didn't just listen, it entered a trance. This performance transformed the song from a local Jamaican story into a universal anthem for the oppressed. When you hear the I3 singing the background harmonies, you aren't just hearing backup singers, you are hearing the mothers of the ghetto, confirming Bob's story. It is widely considered one of the greatest live recordings in the history of music. Why does this song still resonate today? Because Trenchtown is everywhere. There is a government yard in Brazil, in South Africa, in Chicago, and in Addis Ababa. The song teaches us that the past is a source of strength in this great future. You can't forget your past, so dry your tears. I say, Bob was teaching us that resilience isn't about being rich. It's about the good friends and the cornmeal porridge shared in the dark times. Bob Marley took the pain of a small concrete yard in Kingston and turned it into a healing balm for the entire world. He didn't forget Georgie. He didn't forget Tata. And he didn't forget the woman who was crying. What does no woman, no cry mean to you? Does it remind you of a struggle you've overcome? Let us know in the comments. Your stories are the legacy of this music. If you want to see more deep dives into the roots of reggae, hit the subscribe button and join the Reggae Roots family. One love, respect, and don't forget to dry your tears.